you stop acting like a child for 1 minute? Then maybe we can have a real conversation. A conversation with a liar is always one-sided. Catherine grabbed 2 bottles this time. Oh my god, she's flinging more wine at me. What would happen if she brought the 2 bottles crashing in front of her? Would the pieces of glass stab her face, her eyes maybe? What a random thought. The morbid picture gave her an out-of-body experience. It was a nasty fight, depressingly familiar, but they were dancing to the same tune once again. Here be the lovers. Enter left, the hothead. Watch her dance with anger blazing. Tears are sparkling bitter rage. The fight goes on until she's spent, the reasons hazy in her head. Oh my god, is this a poem which doesn't rhyme? It's like real poetry. Pan right, the rake, both the victim and accused. Words are poison or an unlit fuse. Migraines taunt his pride and temper. He grudgingly takes on logic's mantle. The words they throw reach fever pitch. The dance will crest, he'll choose to leave. Enough of this, he says in rage, temper rising, he exits frame. Her unspent fervour burning hot, she cries it off, that cowardly sod. What did you expect, she asks herself, he'll take abuse with a bowed head? The least he could do, her anger shouts, a hint of guilt, a hint of doubt. The migraine throbs as he is pacing, annoyed and angered, his face a flush. Capricious woman, irrational, he shakes his head with a tired breath. Yet he basks in torture and savours the taste. This is love, he nods, this is love, he says. Love and pain go hand in hand. It is painful, yes, but never bland. He nips a morsel and takes a bite. Exquisite, he trembles, a rush, a charge. He feels his heart is struck by love, decides that it is worth the gripe. A dainty flower he must protect, to watch it bloom until it's ripe. But not right now, he says, still sore. His pride's too hard to swallow whole. Hours pass, he wouldn't call. She forms the words she knows will hurt. She plans to cut and make him bleed, yet when he arrives she all but weeps. Why'd you leave? I shouldn't have. Are you angry still? I'm here now, love. Her arms are snug upon his neck. He'll promise you to change, to do what's best. For both their sakes, he admits he's wrong. A little lie to complete the song. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, love. That was quite cute. That was really cute. I like that a lot. Just tell me when you're tired of me or when you find some other pretty thing, you bastard. Catherine slipped back in her brain just as the last sentence left her lips. If you are going to leave me, then just leave. Stop playing me for a fool. This was a new tempo. She dropped the bottles to her side but did not let go. He noticed the change of song and timed his step accordingly. I never once thought or treated you like a fool. I love you. I'm never going to leave you. New tears churn and bubble from her eyes. Liar. It was her turn to leave this time, and she did. He was left to perform a solo. Contemplation, regret, penance. A vow of new beginnings forming in his head. A lover's tiff. This is why I'm never going to get married. It's a scary thought. Kath? Rosie Wosie. She's probably drunk purely through the amount of wine she's had around her. Catherine stumbled into Rose's room that evening, drunk to high heaven. Her half-lidded eyes surveyed Rose's meagre space. She let herself fall onto the bed, regretting it instantly. The ceiling spun in a waltz of throbbing headaches and acid-laced throats. Bad idea. Catherine stood up and her wobbly legs tripped her. Rosa caught her and sat Kath on her small bed. My goodness, you stink of alcohol. I hate it when people do that. Oh, you're drunk, aren't you? Yep. I'm aware. I was there when I was drinking it. Like, do you think she's just going to go, oh, fuck, I'm drunk. Oh, God. Oh, thank you for telling me. Oh, that could have got embarrassing. Oh, shit. Okay, gotta go do something. No, of course you wouldn't. She propped some pillows behind her back and fixed the stray hairs that had littered her face. Thanks, hun, you're a dear. How much have you had, Kath? Catherine counted on her fingers. Never mind. Would you like some water? Nope. Interesting, huh? I can almost hear liquid sloshing around in my brain when I shake my head. That means you're, like, really ill. You should do something about that. Rosa pursed her lips. Catherine was in no shape to make decisions right now. She stood up to get her something to sober up. But Catherine grabbed Rosa's hand and tugged at it gently. No, you sit. Please? Rosa complied. Catherine revealed a bottle about 3/4 full. Snuck another one from Gilly's monster closet. Serves him right for calling me a child. Rosa began to breast. Catherine paid her no mind. God, she must be petty. Jesus. Come on, Rosa. When have we ever drunk ourselves to the point of insanity? And I call you my best friend? Yeah, okay, so she's complaining that Rosa doesn't just get absolutely wasted. Catherine took a huge swig of the bittersweet liquid and offered it to Rosa. Rosa examined it carefully and took a mouthful. She gargled it in her mouth, admiring the sweet and sour flavour of the wine. I've never had anything this rich before. Good, right? Had to be, it's the last bottle. So, had another fight with... Shh. Bad wind follows that name. I'm not talking about that egocentric pompadour tonight. Pompadour? I have no idea what that means. What does pompadour mean? Sounds like a derogatory term for a porn star. French name. Is that what they're called in French, isn't it? French porn stars. This is pompadours. Jesus. We are going to drink. We are going to reminisce. And tomorrow we'll hate ourselves together. Agreed? Rosa giggled. If you say so. Such a bad idea. Never a good idea to do this. Is that how we drunk? It looks like we have a mild sunburn across our eyes and nose. Apparently. Alright, last one. Rosa puffed her cheeks in mock disgust. Fine. How'd you make holy water? How? Boil the hell out of it. I see what they did there. I guess. Probably. Rosa and Catherine were assaulted by fits of hysteric laughter. Catherine felt the muscles of her cheeks ache. That is so bad. I don't even have the words. Yeah, see? How times have changed. Nowadays, that's not even mildly offensive. Catherine wiped the tears of laughter from her eyes. I heard that one from one of your suitors, Sire Adrian. Rosa rolled her eyes. How come I always end up talking to your suitors more than you? I must start charging you a fee. I'll pay it with gratitude. What is wrong with Sire Adrian anyway? He seems like a nice man. Nice hair, nice teeth, nicely groomed mutton chops. The women laughed. How about Sire Ferrand? He sent you that lovely bouquet of flowers. I am not interested in a relationship at the moment. The moment? You don't seem interested ever. I am, sometimes. It is just hard to connect to people for me beyond physical. There's a Tumblr name for this sort of sexuality, which is neither asexual or pansexual. It's one of those sexuals. I don't know what it's bound to be one, isn't it? Relationships seem out of the question. You don't have any difficulty with me or that idiot in the upper room. It means you are not incapable. That is only because you are my closest friends. Well, there must be someone. Oh, you are so picky. If you go on like that, you might end up an old maid. So be it. I'd rather take care of your children anyway. I shall be the amazing godmother. Well, don't grow wings quite yet. Catherine smiled wistfully. I'm not sure I want any. What? Children. I love children, but it's a little scary. I thought you were going to do the modern thing where they're just... so fucking annoying. You can't say that out loud, though. Catherine bit her lip. What if she becomes her own mother? Such a terrifying possibility, wasn't it? She barely remembered her mother. Her malady had struck as soon as Catherine was born. She had never called Catherine by name, not even on the day she died. All she knew that her family struggled with that crisis. Her father exhausted and depressed, and her sister forced to grow up too fast. To be a blight to the people you love, how horrible would that be? Catherine, Rosa smiled at her, interrupting her thoughts. You will be a good mother. Your past does not matter. Catherine stared at Rosa, almost enchanted at her ability to know what she was thinking. She really was her best friend, wasn't she? The thought warmed her heart. You really think so? Yes. She's your best friend, she has to say that. She can hardly be like, oh, what was that? You think I'm going to be a fucking awful mother? Oh, how kind of you. that's just never going to happen. The fact that you are so concerned about them before they're even born speaks much of your kindness. Whatever happens, those children will grow up loved. Catherine blushed and changed the subject. Oh, we're out of booze. We finished it. I'm quite buzzed. Hey, remember the first time we drank? Do you mean the party or the potato incident? The potato, Don't even want to know. Don't even want to know. Of course I meant the potato incident. How can I forget? Rosa burst out laughing. That was hilarious. Wench, stop laughing. I almost went to jail. Goodness, I was so stupid. Rosa laughed again. You almost went to jail over potatoes. Wonder if you mean the gentlemanly kind. Amen. Hey, you're supposed to say no, Catherine. We do dumb things when we're young. Catherine, we do dumb things when we're young. It's about time you learn your lesson. Not a good thing to say. That's just going to open something deeper. I can't wait to tell your children endless tales of your shenanigans. Oh, God, never, never tell them. Wench? Tut, tut. Catherine grabbed Rosa's waist and attempted to tickle her, but Rosa slipped away, laughing. Catherine's stomach lurched as she stopped, her hands still hugging Rosa's waist. The room spun, but it wasn't unpleasant. She felt like being gently rocked in a cradle. She closed her eyes and smiled. She took in Rosa's scent, always smelling slightly like apples. Rosa scratched her head and smoothed her hair. This is nice. Yes, Rosa. Thank you for being with me. Of course. No, I mean... She sat up on the bed. You've been with me all my life. You're my oldest friend. When we first met, I didn't have many friends. I studied my piano lessons night and day because that's all I ever knew to do. It was all I had. Maybe that was why I begged Papa to let you stay with us. I was so happy. Rosa smiled fondly at the memory. You were there for me, always. It sounds disgustingly melodramatic. It does. It really does sound melodramatic. You're drunk, I understand. They laughed again. Would you like to hear something worse? What? You changed my life. Oh, that is worse. Rosa smiled fondly as she played with Catherine's hair. I'm the lucky one, Catherine. You took me home and treated me like I was family. I wouldn't have known what a real family was like without you. Papa Francois and Emily. Even if Papa Francois always did avoid me, I knew he cared for me like his own. Yes, why is that? That was why I liked him. He was a good man. And you know, Guillaume was almost family too. Catherine made a face at the mention of the man, but her eyes softened. I miss my father. Me too. There was a pause. Catherine shifted awkwardly in her skin. Can I tell you a secret? Piano went a bit weird there. We're sort of going too deep on the scale. I'm not sure I want to know the secret. Did you kill him? Of course. Clem and I, we haven't had intercourse. That was it? That's fine. What? Okay. One of you isn't comfortable, so the other one left the other one alone. That's fine. That's how that should work if someone doesn't want it. What? Recently? No, I mean, at all. Oh, Rosa cleared her throat. I see. After all these years? Well, after the first time, never again. So you did, what? Okay, Rosa blushed. Her head knitted together images of two people she considered her friends. Oh God, don't. Just don't go there. Rosa tried to push them away, but she was able to... all she was able to do was paint the warped fantasies in gossamer and fuzz. She cleared her throat. Is that why you have separate rooms even when we moved here to the chateau? No, that was his idea. He's very peculiar with his sleep. I imagine we'll be keeping separate bedrooms even when we get married. I don't really mind. Well, your wedding is soon, isn't it? Perhaps you're just nervous. No, I don't think it's like that. Recently, we'd get intimate, but I always stopped when things got too sultry. Oh. He gets upset sometimes, but he says it's all right. Catherine looked down ruefully on her toes. He doesn't push me into it, I should be glad. But don't you think it's strange? A bit. I mean, if you think it's strange, yes, it's strange. What if I stay like this even after we get married? I don't understand why. Sometimes I get these doubts and I wonder why they are there. Isn't that unfair for him? I just feel like there is something wrong with me. There is nothing wrong with you, but it makes me really insecure. This lack of, what if he's getting it somewhere else? It drives me crazy, and believe me, I want to. I just can't for some reason. I get this horrible feeling I can't explain. Rosa examined Catherine's face and came to a conclusion. It took me a while to understand sex. The sudden no-nonsense comment surprised Catherine, yet it surprised me as well. I had to double-check it was Rosa who was saying that. Rosa went on. I was the same as you. I had always had an averse feeling for it. Like it's dirty and that I should be ashamed for enjoying it. Ha! Yeah, sure, this is France. I am never going to believe you. That is a horrible lie. You will love it. I had always thought love would make sex clean, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works. It's something you just enjoy and get on with. Like, it's nothing too crazy. They are two separate things. So just because you don't like sex, it doesn't mean you have to. It doesn't mean you don't love him, Kath. Catherine looked up at her. Why do you even care so much to hurt him? What do you think love is? The warm feeling returned to Catherine's heart. How'd you do that, huh? You always know the right thing to say. Always. I think it's because partially what she's saying is bollocks, but other than that... Rosa blushed at this, suddenly aware that they were still in a loose tangle of an embrace. I read a lot of smart books lately. Sex advice from a book. Seems pretty solid. She tried to diffuse the situation with a laugh, but Catherine didn't drop her look. Candlelight played pretty shadows on her skin. It illuminated the glint in her eyes, the moisture on her lips. Rosa felt the warmth of the alcohol rise up to her face. Her heartbeat increased steadily. Anyway, maybe you will feel... Oh, fuck, I accidentally pressed space twice. Maybe you'll feel better about it when you are married. You are probably just nervous about the whole thing. She made attempts to curl away from Catherine's arms, slowly, subtly run away, disperse the proximity, but she couldn't run away from her stare. Catherine's hand caressed Rosa's face. She touched her scars daintily, tracing them with her fingers. You're really pretty, Rosa, especially when you smile. Is this going where I think it is? Thank you, I think? You don't believe me. I don't think I am. I look in the mirror and I see a freak. Rosa, that's not true. It is fine. I liked being a freak. I wanted to be ugly. You failed. I don't know how to tell you this, Rosa, but you failed. You're pretty. I used to bind my breasts and hide in the shabbiest clothes I could find. Rosa touched her eye. This was penance, she remembered herself saying, for being a sinner and a freak, for attracting attention and spite, for dressing nicely, for letting her hair grow so long. But really, I did this to myself, to hide. To hide? Rosa's mouth quivered. I thought people don't touch ugly things. The truth is they do. So what I'd rather be is invisible. Catherine wrapped her arms around Rosa's neck. She heard Catherine sniff and wipe tears behind her embrace. You're kissing her eye? I mean, sure, I guess. Whatever you're into. She pushed Rosa's hair away and kissed her defective eye. You're not a freak and you're not ugly. I love every part of you. They're all beautiful. Rosa forgot how close they were now, forgot Catherine's hands on her own. Here was somebody who accepted her with all her faults and ugliness. You always made me feel I am worth something. Because you are. You are beautiful, Rosa, inside and out. Rosa saw her face reflected in Catherine's eyes. In them, she did indeed look beautiful. A lump formed in Rosa's throat. Catherine's face hovered above her cheek. She planted a little seed of a kiss on it. She was just barely away from her lips. Rosa kissed her nose in return. It made Catherine giggle. At first, the kisses were sweet, innocent. The kind of punch-drunk kisses that sent them both into bouts of giggling. But Catherine's hand caressed her neck. The kisses lingered, lips melded, hands explored, and Rosa sucked on Catherine's tongue inside her mouth. Wine, candle wax, spit. That is what it was tasted like. Rosa's head began to swoon. Catherine's hand squeezed her right breast. Tripe, grapes, plush. Rosa began to want to taste more. Longing, regrets, tears, and sensational flavours she had never tasted before hovered at the edge of her tongue. She was suddenly hungry for it, to take it all. Rosa savoured the taste, breathed deeply. All mine, child. I want it. Her heart. I want her heart. Her love is sweet. Listen to my voice. Mother? But I'm so hungry, so hungry. Stop! Rosa flung her eyes open. A sinking feeling of menace overcame her. No! Rosa pulled away. She pushed Catherine away from her face. Catherine's eyes snapped open, startled by Rosa's outburst. Why did you stop, greedy, selfish bitch? She blinked for a few seconds. A look of horror creeped on her face. I'm sorry, I didn't mean... No, Kath. Rosa couldn't stand the hurt in her eyes. She was probably blaming herself. Rosa wanted to shout how wrong she was, but the lump in her throat became a rapacious mouth. A tumour had grown inside of her, a parasite. She could feel it pulse and slither inside of her neck. She couldn't speak at all. Catherine wobbled off the bed. She wiped her mouth and cheeks, which were covered with a thin layer of drool. I'm so sorry, Rosa. I'm going to leave now. Kath, good night. Rosa should have followed her, but when she tried to stand, the floor twirled. She choked at the flavour left in her throat, sick and cloying, sticky sweet like honey. The taste both repulsed and enticed her. Thick spit leaked out of her mouth. She felt the urge to vomit. This is nothing, Mother. Just a bad after effect of alcohol. No. Please don't call me that. It was an accident. Everything is fine. She would talk to Catherine tomorrow, assure her that this was not her fault. Everything was fine. Man, even after all this time, there's some dark shit happening with Rosa. And we don't know what it is yet. It's just dark.